Let's start. So today's session we will be covering how unlocking agentic AI with RAG. In this session, we will be exploring how agentic AI will be combined with RAG to increase its potential. So first, we will be diving deeper. What is exactly agentic AI, and differentiating what's difference with the RAG and normal LLM. Okay. Okay. So what is agentic AI? So you can define agentic AI with one word. That's been said by Enver Seaton, an AI expert at global experience engineering firm Sequelum. He says that you can understand agentic AI as a proactiveness, a system's ability to anticipate users' need and initiate actions autonomously rather than simply responding to commands or stimuli. So agentic AI is different than an LLM or any AI that you usually use. It's something that follows an React model. It's not same as an LLM that gives you a response based on the your input and gives you a response. It follows an React model where you get some input, then the LLM and the agentic AI thinks about that, gathers the information about that the query and gives you the output. So you can understand it's an autonomous system that follows for the query. For example, let's say I have a query that plan my trip to Greece. And now there are multiple components in this. Like first you have to book a flight. So there will be an agent which will be specialized in booking that flight. And there will be agents that will be specialized in booking your hotel and everything. So these are agentic AI that we say. Yeah, there are many benefits of working with agentic AI. There's a greater specialization. Agentic AI can focus on specific tasks, delivering high quality, tailored, and expert solution. There can be innovative solutions that can be made. Right now, agentic AI is booming. We are seeing a lot of things that have been made on agentic AI. Recently, there are many great projects. In this hackathon, which we are focused, is that also that you make some great agentic AI. Then the last is the great trustworthiness. So try just imagine agentic AI as an organization where you have many agentic AIs working with all. So the best thing is that a human can do a lot of errors, but agentic AIs are very less prone to errors. For example, there can be typos by a human, but the agentic AI are less prone to errors. Now, the main concept that we will be covering in this workshop is that how the smarter RAG application with agentic AI. So how RAG empowers this agentic AI? Because RAG you have seen have been already used a lot, but RAGs makes these agentic AI a lot powerful. So first you have to understand what is exactly a RAG. So we'll dive this into this flowchart later on. First we understand what is RAG. Okay. So how does a RAG works? Just imagine if the system was without a RAG, this was your LLM, this part would have been not there. The smarter receiver and specific knowledge base would not have been there. You just receive a question and the question would be just answer on.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ayush here.
Yeah.
Uh, I think you are going pretty fast. Can you bit slow
Okay.
down? Yeah,
Sure.
it's
Okay.
difficult to catch up with your speed. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the initial one is fine. Yeah, in this diagram, to understand better, I would request you if you can spend some slow time with every little component detail.
Okay. Sure. So you understood the agentic AI part, right?
Yeah, so I am new to Agentic AI. I don't know much about
Hmm.
Agentic AI, but I understand the basic concept. So I'm following you.
Okay. So like I will start from very basic. Okay. So see, you know LLM like ChatGPT is an LLM. You use LLMs to for your query, you will get an output for that. They're pre-trained models. Like you have some data that have been pre-trained and they give output on the basis of that. Now we come to agentic AI. These are also they're also using LLM themselves. But what's special is that they are to a specific task. For example, let's say I say plan my trip. No, let's say take a different example. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say I have some calendar at myself. Okay, I am working at a company and I have a calendar. So I ask LLM, can you check how many holidays I have in the week. So the LLM won't have the information that I have at my calendar. It's a private calendar to me. So it can never give me the correct output. But when you say agentic AI, I will give him that my calendar and he will read my calendar and give the output on the basis of that. So it's searching something in my calendar. So it's a specific task that is performing. So we say agentic AI.
Okay,
It's a
so it's so the private data which we provide to this agentic AI, it's a real-time data we provide, or it's something like it always have the access to our private data, or like what sort of flow it follows?
Okay, so there are different methods. You can also provide real lifetime data also. You could provide him static data like data which have been like PDF and something. So if you provide him real time data, it will update regularly. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't provide him real time data, it will just work on the data that has been provided. You have to update it manually. So we want that you to put real time data because it will work very well. But real time data also requires a lot of computation more.
Correct.
Okay. So these are the benefits of working with RAG. Like you have greater specialization. Like say, just example, I am creating a agentic AI. Let's say it's text to SQL. So my agent is specialized in that you give him a text query. It will give you a SQL command specialized that you have to search in the database. It has access to your database. It has access to your whole company. So it can give you the specific commands according to the user text query. So we can say it's a greater specialization tool. There can be a lot of innovative agentic AI that have been introduced. Like recently, one of the companies in America made a very special agentic AI that interacts with the patients in healthcare industry to understand how their emotions are going and give responses on basis of that. And definitely there's greater trustworthiness. But the main
Yeah,
top.
I have query on this point. Sorry, sorry, I'm interrupting you in between.
No, no, no issues.
So this trustworthiness, like we have that responsible AI part, right? And it seems that when you are giving it more control, like
Hmm,
there could be more possibility of some like unlikely action and has been taken by agentic AI. Like how we are going to prevent, and how you are speaking that it's a greater trustworthiness. For me, as a like new to agentic AI,
hmm.
it seems to be the other way around. It is a lesser trustworthiness I can see right now. At least I don't know the much details inside.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but
So I got it, your point. So you are saying that we are giving more access to AI. So maybe
Mhm,
not it's becoming more powerful so that it can come against us as well.
mhm.
Yeah. So the main point is that we are not talking about that aspect that if AI just take over humanity and all. So what we are talking about is that greater trustworthiness is that when you see like humans working and an AI working, you see that AI is always giving a better output compared to a human. It's faster and it's more accurate. For example, I say write an article. So a human may do a lot of grammatical errors in that, maybe a lot of spelling errors, maybe a lot of errors, but AI will not perform that. So the aspect of getting a better output at the result, that's where we are talking about greater trustworthiness, like consistent
Yeah, so you
performance.
you
Yeah.
you mean to say you mean to say that like the results are more trustworthiness instead of the actions taken by the agentic AI. Because
Hmm.
not I'm not talking about the very broader sense, but let's take an example of suppose something like in finance, the pricing.
Right.
Okay, you make some agent to do some pricing calculation and like automatically apply it to some aspect, and due to some incorrect data, or like any kind of maybe a coding issue, or like maybe a train issue, any kind of issue, if there is a drastic difference between the actual and expected, then it can do and it will be like automated, right? So it can in within minutes, seconds, it can do blunders, right? There is a difference of lakhs and crores, and it's moving in fraction of seconds. Then it will be very problematic to handle such hazardous scenario and do the corrective actions on that. So what is your input on that tag?
Okay, so like you're talking about finance, right? Like there's stocks trading at a very high pace, like
Correct.
the price is changing
Correct.
very dynamically. So,
Correct.
so see, when you're working in a company, let's say Goldman Sachs is working, and they
Mhm.
are like actively taking the data from a like a stock market and updating their whole company's data. So, but
Mhm.
when you see an agentic AI working on it, so there's a specific part that I have mentioned to an agentic AI, and it know what to fetch and how to fetch. And similarly, I can have a human also working there. And human is not so much efficient because it's not autonomously can work at the same consistent speed. It needs some rest, and it's not much efficient when you compare it with agentic AI. So definitely agentic AI can also do errors because there's so dynamic space. But as we grow, agentic AI will become more efficient and efficient. So it will be always more efficient than a human when you comparing the data regularly with the dynamic pricing because it's fetching very at an autonomous path.
Mhm.
So in that aspect, we think agentic AI definitely there's need for humans because see there's someone needed who will just check is the agentic AI working properly or not. So the managing is always important, but is the how the flow will be working? We can automate that with the agentic AI.
Okay, okay. Got your point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So actually, what we want to cover in this session is that especially a rack, which is a part of the agentic AI. This is a very special technique which was introduced in AI, actually became popular in AI because actually what's the problem is that when you see any LLM, they are already trained on a very large model. So like training LLM every time you have new data and specifically to a company, to a specific data is difficult. You cannot have so much of training every time. Like for example, today my inventory of my like say couriers are 1,000 and tomorrow it's updated to 1,200. I cannot do LLM training every day to just update my orders and all. So we use a RAG model. What we do is we connect an LLM to real time data. So how we connect is how we understand in RAG. So first we will understand how RAG works. Then we will come to this flowchart again, how AI agents is using RAG.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So this is first, we want to explore how a RAG works. So first let's understand how an LLM works. LLM, I told you, is already pre-trained on a large amount of data. So it takes your question, it gives you an output basis of the data it has. So in RAG, for just example, right now, ignore there is a smart receiver specific knowledge base. Just ignore these two parts and just imagine a question comes and LLM takes the input and answer on basis of that. It's just how much knowledge I have, I answer on the basis of that. But let's say I introduce two more aspects, which is a a retriever and a specific knowledge base. Now the question will come. First, all the content related to that question will be gathered. For example, let's say, what is the capital of India? So this person is actually searching a large library, which he taking out all the cities, all the states that are there in the India, and then gathering all the information and then providing to LLM. Like it's increasing the amount of data that LLM has. And on the basis of that, LLM will calculate a new result and generate a new result and give to the user. So this will be more accurate and more efficient. Yeah. Did you get that? How does the RAG work?
Yeah, so here, can you give me an example in this case, like you are talking about specific knowledge base over here. What exactly, if you can, relate it to with an example, it will be better
Okay,
to
okay.
understand.
Let's say I am creating a RAG for uh, for like searching on Google. Okay.
Okay.
So searching on Google, my LLM is like, let's say GPT. GPT is trained on 2023, all the content which was of 2023, and we are now in 2024, and a lot of content has been updated on Google. Like on 2024, there's a lot of new content added on Wikipedia, YouTube, and all. So now when I ask anything to LLM, it will give me response based on the 2023. So it's a problem. So what I will do is that I will make possible that LLM can connect to all the Google data which is right now and fetch my query, the data from the Google as well as its own knowledge, and give me answer on basis of that.
Okay.
So like there's a already someone has did it. Perplexity is an agentic AI which specializes in this. So when you do a Google search, so sometimes don't get the accurate result. So Perplexity do this only. It uses ChatGPT as its backend and uses this all the data of the Google as it's some model of library type. It keeps all the data of Google as in real time and fetches that data regularly so that it can give you more accurate response in real time. Because LLM always work in past because it's already pre-trained. If you want to connect it to real time, you have to connect it to real time data.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And yeah, another example could be just example you are you have a restaurant open and every day your inventory gets updated. For example, you have 1,000 plates and you can only serve 1,000 customers, but someone orders and it exceeds 1,000. So there should be something that's updated regularly. Your inventory, if it's updated regularly, thousands have been already gone and you cannot put more orders, though then answer will be of the query will be that you cannot push further than this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's connecting real-time data to an LLM so that more accurate results could be there and a better answers we could get out of this.
So this the answer is given by the LLM or by our like a small model. How it is?
So see, LLM, I told you, is already pre-trained on a lot of large amount of data.
Correct.
Yes, so it's like a brain. You have already trained a brain. It knows a lot of
Correct.
data and it answers basis of that. But I say brain, okay, you take more data. You take more data and anticipate this as well. So it will see that data as well, and it will see that what's been updated and not. On the basis of that, it will give me the results. So like gathering more information specific to that topic, it will give me the results. So LLM only will give you the answer, but using the data that has been retrieved.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
So this is the real actually how the RAG works. This was just a presentation that how we have the RAG working, but these are the real tools that actually RAG uses. So there are a lot of specialized tools that have been in a RAG. So that, like I told you, the first is the query given by the user. Let's say let's say the query is that what is the capital of India? And it converts into embedding. So there's a concept of embeddings and vector databases. We will be covering this in a vector lab workshop session that we'll be having soon. So I will give you some overview. So what is that embedding is that, like, vector normal databases, we store a lot of information. We have information about like everything. MySQL is stored, information about my company, everything. But vector databases, you can also research, is a special type of databases where we store everything as a vectors. What's the best thing about vector databases is that we can search information very fast. For example, if your question is that what is capital of India, it will connect all the vectors which are related to this query to similar pattern of another queries. Like what is the capital of India, what is the capital of Paris, are similar queries. So it will connect all of them and searching becomes very efficient. We will cover these embeddings and vector databases deeply. So first, your query gets converted into embeddings. It goes into vector databases. Now, I already told you there is external information that's been also there in the vector databases, so that a real-time generation could be there. So raw data is first converted into information that's been needed. it's cut into small pieces so that efficiently we could put it into embeddings. Then it's stored in the vector databases. After this all, the LLM collects all the relevant data from vector databases that are there from real time and all the data that was in the past in the vector databases. Then on the basis of that, it calculate a new response and give you the response.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now let's come up to agentic RAG, how this is working. So I told you this is how a RAG works. Now comes to agentic RAG. So without a RAG, agent would have worked without this block and without retrieval functions. It would have only worked as an AI agent, which have available functions like tools, actions, LLM functions, and on the basis of prompt, the LLM layer works. But like I told you, the normal actions that an agent can take. But after the introduction of RAG, it also has knowledge of the present time data or maybe any data that you are providing it. So, for example, let's say I am planning a vacation to Greece, and in the vacation, I want agent to decide what clothes I should bring to my trip. So, what agent will do? It will call multiple agents and check how's the weather for the Greece in next 7 days. And if it gets the weather situation, it will think how's the weather situation. Okay, so like there's 27 degrees, so he should take more of the summer clothes. So it will give me that you should take the summer clothes and basis of the present knowledge that it has, and it will give me the output basis of that you should take the summer clothes because the weather in the Greece is right now 27 degrees, which is the summertime. So this is how a RAG powers an agentic AI. Like you have persistent knowledge so that this knowledge can help you like to power agentic AI, because agentic AI normally does not have access to real-time data until you provide them the RAG. You got it? This
Okay. Yeah. So this real-time data we need to provide, or like it can be like yeah, I want to know more about this, like how to provide this data to
okay,
agentic
okay.
AI.
So there are different methods actually. So vector databases usually we connect to their APIs actually made. Like Google already provides you the search API. So this process that you once you connect it to API, this search API, it will go to search API and like gather all the data that's been related. For example, red T-shirt of Nike. Then it will search a red Nike T-shirt and scrape all that data and convert into vectors and gather in the vector databases. After that, the
Okay.
LLM will use that. So these are proper structures like companies provide to you to use APIs. Mostly we connect through APIs. Sometimes like you have some static data, then you can directly upload that. For example, you can upload PDFs, maybe Excel files and all that can be directly used for the agentic RAG workflow.
Okay.
Yeah. So LLM is like just a brain that we are increasing more layers for the LLM so that it can process a better output response. And agentic is that it's taking a proper action. A proper LLM never takes an action. ChatGPT always gives you a response, but an agent will always think, it will reason, then act on that, and it will give you a proper answer. It has a decision making skills.
Okay.
Okay.
And how,
Mhm.
so that decision-making skills, it is the
Mhm.
power of LM, right?
Yeah,
Or
sorry.
do we need to do the decision-making skills of agentic AI
Mhm.
is the that is powered by LLM, right?
Yeah,
Or
right.
are we training to that LLM to take certain decisions based on like certain data?
So LLM is like a brain, I told you. It's already pre-trained on a lot of data. So it's intelligent enough. But what's that is it's normal LLM never takes a decision. It always gives you a response and lets you take the decision. But when we say agentic, LLM is itself taking the decision basis of all the information it has. So just we are increasing the amount of data through RAG so that it can take a more better decision. So you are absolutely right that LLM is taking the decision. Just LLM is the one who is the brain of the whole system. Just we are increasing more layers so that it can be more intelligent.
Yeah, so let me like rephrase my question with an
Okay.
example. Like take the example of like plan a
Mhm.
trip to Greece. So so suppose I asked the agentic AI like planned my trip to Greece,
Okay.
and so based on the information of Greece, he provide me the best time to visit Greece. Okay,
Right.
but but my preference is the cheapest visit I want, right? And the
Mhm.
cheapest visit will be happen like off season, right? Not the right
Mhm.
season. So
Mhm.
here the decision is coming to the agentic AI, right? So based on the context and the usual parameter, he may give me the result like this is the like right season to visit Greece, and these are the option, or maybe he can go ahead with booking and all.
Mhm.
But my preference is different. That is based on my context. So
Mhm.
how this you understand my question,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely,
You said
absolutely.
like
Right.
how this will work.
So your question is that, like, I understood, just I'm again saying that. So that AI, this agentic AI, I have given the query that I want to visit Greece. It should be a good time to visit, and also it should be a cheap, affordable at that time. So there are two contradicting paths that agent have to see. So,
Right.
right. So there's the what agent should do. It's as we are told that it's taking a decision on the basis of that. So what it will do is that it will call other the agents that will be in this. Like it will fetch the real time data and see the off season time. So the best season time, and it will give you the best time decision that it can interpret. Like maybe the midway of the season, like not the best season, also a midway when the season is good and the prices are cheap. It will make a decision based on that. So it will try to give it the best response, like maybe not the best season, but midway of the best season and bad season, and it will take out the best dates which are most cheap in the real time also. So it will give you the best response based on that, but it cannot guarantee you that it will give you the best output will be only possible if it's available in the real time. But it will try to bring you the best output, which would have taken a human a lot of more time to calculate.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Hmm. So we will conclude this session, but at the end, we would like that you should definitely cover two things before the next session, because next session we will be discussing Groclake Model Lake. All this will be shared with you. In the Model Lake, we will be discovering a lot of great tools that we have made in the Groclake. So Model Lake is a part of the Groclake where you can use it to create an NLP models, natural language processing, and even to create your own chat GPT that we'll be creating in the next session. You know, like chat GPT 4 is limited to small users for a paid. So you can make a free chat GPT 4 using the model lake that we'll be covering in the next session. And definitely, you should definitely cover Project Mariner by DeepMind Google. This has been recently launched. If you see some videos also in YouTube, this is a fantastic project where how Google has shown agentic AI is working. Different agents are coordinating with each of them. Definitely to check out. So once I will give some brief overview actually. Why are we doing these sessions and what is Groclake Agentathon? So see, Groclake Agentathon is about that you create different agents. So you can create any idea with an agent. We are providing you an end-to-end tools. So Groclake is a library of end-to-end tools of agents that you can create. We're providing you the whole equipment and inventory that you can use to create a proper end-to-end agent. Like Model Lake will provide you to when NLP models, like to interact with the humans. Then, like as we told you, there's a databases. We will provide you a vector lake which is related to vector DB. Then we will provide you with a data lake that's connecting you with the data of the info that you have to gather, like PDFs and all you have to upload. That will be covered in the data lake. So we will be covering this all in small sessions, really diving deep how this all can be covered in the Grok Lake. So first, I would recommend you to cover Grok Lake model lake how much you can. In the next session, we will definitely do a practical on the Google Colab. Also, we will cover how you can make your own ChatGPT 4 using Groclake Model A. And definitely to check out Project Mariner by DeepMind. Also, we will do a session where we will explore how the DeepMind, this Project Mariner by DeepMind Google is working. So this is all. Yeah, this whole PPT will be shared with you. And the ones who have not joined the Discord community and WhatsApp can join. And definitely, if you have any questions regarding the hackathon, we are free to answer. Yes, you can ask the questions.
Thanks, Ayush. So this PPT is going to be shared in Discord server?
Yeah, Discord and WhatsApp both we will be sharing this PPT, as well as in the future sessions we'll be covering all the Google Collab and all. We will also sharing that.
Okay.
You have any
Thanks,
questions?
Vishnu.
You can also raise there also.
It was wonderful session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.